What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live Thursday night with the garage. We've got David and David in here starting us off. What's going on, gentlemen? And I think my counter is wrong. I don't think that there's 17. Oh, there is 17 people in here already. Wow. Okay, volume is low. I will fix that. Let's check. 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 Okay, that's probably loud enough. Let's see, who else we got? Kamar's in here. Daniel, Wendell, ICT, OT Synthetics, Arkansas, Matt, Grimace, Joe F. What's going on, everybody? Hey, Colin. Welcome to another live show. Thanks, everybody, for showing up. Let's talk about tuning. Hey, Bob. Let's talk about tuning. But before we get that started, you guys want to do a giveaway? Here, I tell you what. We're going to do something. Let's do this. Let's start a poll. Giveaway? We'll see. We'll see. I'm starting a poll. I mean, if nobody wants a giveaway, okay, it's pretty, we're pretty solid yes so far. 100% yes. 100% yes. Okay, I guess we'll do it. We'll do it. We'll do it. Okay, let's just fire it up. What's up, Joe? What's everybody doing? We're going to do a $50 Summit gift card to a lucky winner. What did I expect? Hey, I don't use the poll option that much, so I figured might as well find a reason to do it. So, the 68 Camaro is here. It's dirty. You'll see it after it's clean. But I've got a bunch of stuff coming for the LS3 swap, so we can get it ready. We got to do the Frankenstein heads, obviously. Those guys have been super patient with me. What else? Cam, all the basic stuff. Getting that stuff out of the way. We're going to do that before we even bother pulling the big block out. And no, we're not raffling off the big block before somebody asks. I know how you guys are. Giving away the big block? No, I'm not giving away the big block. I need the money back so I can finance this. Well, who's their sister company, David? Dude, you and me both, Arkansas, Matt. My plan is to shoot some videos this week. So we're to keep Gen 3 LSP density without setting codes. Yeah, unhook the math. Break out the IAT if it has an IAT sensor in it. Depends. I mean, did the early waffle maths have the IAT built in? Well, can you not get DX engineering through Summit? Static on the audio, probably clipping. Let me take it down just one notch and maybe that will clear up the static. Let me know if that's better. I may have been clipping because I'm loud. So, and I can also just move the microphone away a little bit. I'm sitting a little close to the microphone. So, just buy Gen 3 LS60 with all forged parts comes this weekend. Sweet Shane, what's the plan? What's the plan? What are you doing with it? Give us some feedback. Kamar got the twin turbo 408 fired up. Sounds really good. Gonna put a little timing, a little fat on the fuel. Do some light driving and log the runs. That's how we get started. David said, move it closer, but turn down the gain. You know, I had this thing dialed in at one point in time. And then I have to fart around with settings like I always do. I'll just try not to have high points of inflection in my voice. Maybe it will. Maybe if I calm down a little bit. I just get so excited on Thursdays. Okay, better. Gen 360 on air, but if the MAF is connected to the throttle body with coupler, is that too close? Yes. You're going to get some reversion as the throttle body kind of closes and stuff like that. Like, give yourself, if the intake diameter is like 3.5 inches, you want at least 3.5 inches, preferably closer to 7 on that. It's all about laminar airflow. And bends obstruction stuff on both sides of it will make a difference on those. So just be aware that if you have a hard time dialing the math in, that's probably what you're seeing. Idle AFRs by between 10.5 and 11.5. I haven't done any pulls yet. Little rich, little fat, but runs. 12-to-1 compression seems high to me, but normal for an LS. Yeah. Maybe a little high. I think the direct injection ones maybe get up to 12. The port injections are closer to 11 generally. Sweet. Ordered long tubes and X pipe for the 04 Sierra. Yeah, I've got parts starting to stack up for the Camaro. Well, Schmidt, I'm sitting here. I might as well start it. No reason to keep everybody waiting, right? Everybody's excited. Let's jump on. Let's have a live show. Let's talk about some tuning. Let's talk about cars. Let's do a raffle. Let's drink some green tea. What else is going on? I honestly, as I said, I've just got to get down to the garage. I've got parts coming tomorrow, so I probably won't get started tomorrow. I'm going to start cleaning some more. Yeah. My neighborhood, we can't pass emissions with code, but I can't figure out how to fail math without having a code. Turn the code off. Oh, Jesus, thanks. I did your bourbon tune. My truck throws a fat flame now. Back in the day when I had my RX-7, I had some dude in a Mustang. And it was the old 4.6 that was just a dog, and he was up beside me, and he starts revving at me. And I'm like, yeah, this guy doesn't know what he's getting into. Man, I laced into that thing and shot a fireball about 5 foot out, and he did not rev. Ever again. Do you guys hear Han Solo out there barking? What a turd. That dog. He has been extra lately. We got a raffle going. If you haven't gotten in, we've got way more people than users that have signed up. It is exclamation point raffle. Well, if you had cats, you don't anymore. Ooh, David Restored. Bought some Temu LS7 lifters. I'm scared to use them. Have you seen them? Have they shown up? Are they super tiny lifters or, you know? Yeah, I'm always scared to buy stuff off of Temu. They look okay. I wouldn't put them into anything that I would spend a lot of money on. GM guy, exclamation point raffle. You'll see everybody that's done it. Mike Pugh just did, a couple above you. All one word, exclamation point raffle. They look okay. I mean, there's not a whole lot going on. Did you ever, dude, Tim, let me give myself a note. I need to do that. I was actually talking to somebody about ICT Billet today. Love those guys. Run their stuff. Buy their stuff. They've sent me stuff for free, but it's so cheap, I just buy it. It's amazing what you get. Is the audio feedback on your end? Shouldn't be getting any feedback. How much change in a tune after long tubes? Minimal generally, Grimace. Depends. Just long tubes, you're probably not going to see a whole lot. You know, if you've already tuned, if you've already got cam, heads, stuff like that, then maybe, but I don't know why we'd be getting any kind of static. Ugh. I'm surrounded by expensive equipment. Fuel trims generally will pick up long tubes and be perfectly fine. In fact, if you want to do that, run your fuel terms for a while, see what your long terms look like, and then use those to make the adjustment. I'm not telling you that's the right way to tune, but If it's just long tubes, that'll work. What did I miss? What did I miss? Do you have video on 4th versus 5th? No, I do not. I don't know if somebody's got to. I don't know if Silver Surfer does on 4th versus 5th. Probably not, because I think he just focuses on his platform. I just, man, I'll tune transmissions. I just don't like tuning transmissions. Hey, super slow. Back at ya. Picked up an AEM 300310 inline. Goes down when I accelerate, which it should, but steady around 1.4. Did free air calibration and reads the same. Commanded and actual are at 1. Well, David, if just make damn sure that you're not running that lean. I mean, obviously you're not running 1.4. The thing wouldn't run at 1.4. You'd be getting all kinds of detonation. Bad sensor, grab one of the cheap ones. Grab a cheap one off Amazon, one of the $30, and throw it in there and see if it makes a difference. Don't waste money on an expensive one. Yeah, I mean, Grimace, you're going to need a little fuel. If it's within the realms of the closed loop system, you're probably fine. And you're not going to run lean enough just off long tubes alone to blow a motor. So, well, maybe steer clear of the Temu widebands. Temu probably sells those sensors for like $2 for 10. Looking for a wideband O2 for a 2008 Colorado. Is there one that would plug into the truck wiring harness? Well, not directly, but 2008 should be OBD2. You'd be fine with the 3003, not the 3, yeah, the 310, the CAN bus, AEM CAN bus one, and it just plugs into your CAN bus. Jasper GM62 came DOD deleted. Had a remote HP tuner's dongle you send back. Kind of surprised. That's interesting. So they send you a dongle to dump a tune in and then send the dongle back. That's one way of doing it. Any idea on the wideband reading 0.8 after loading and logging? Yeah, you've got rich after reflash happening, Dan. Pretty typical. You could do the zero out the intake valve temp stuff, or you could just drive it and then start logging after it settles out. Yeah, Shane, you know it. Lambda, lambda, lambda. Dude, Tim, the sensors, like, it can go, they can last forever, or they can go bad in 100 miles. I've seen both, and that's why I just buy a bunch of the cheap ones. Because if the cheap one craps out, nobody cares. Yeah, exactly like Schmidt said. Drive 15 minutes, start a new log, and reset your fuel trims. That's honestly the way that I've been dealing with it, because I don't like zeroing out the tip temp settings. Like, that was the old school way of doing it. Just drive through it. You're rich, you know, not an issue. Best way for wideband setup on 2006 Silverado 60 for VCM scanner. Aaron, I'm going to tell you, my preferred way is the AEM 300300 with serial to USB. And I'll be honest with you, short of the one that plugs into the CAN bus if you've got a 2008 or later, I like the serial USB. I don't like using the analogs, and that's just because there's too much drift in analog. There's too much that can go wrong. You can get ground loops, all kinds of weird stuff where it will pull it off a little bit. You've got to make sure every time you start logging that your gauge matches what the scanner's reading. You're a lot easier just going over to the 300300 that has the serial out and then using a serial to USB connector. I use, let me pull it up. I've got a specific one that works great because it has a little thing that you wire. It's the D-Tech. You just got to make sure that you get the 232 because that's which one we're using. So it looks like they've got a new version of it. Hold on. Where is my link? They moved it. Okay. So this is the one that I like to use. And it's got this nice little terminal board for making it easy to grab your wires. And you plug it in, add the serial one, and boom. Bingo, boom, boom. Bingo, bango, bongo, whatever. Mitch. I believe I've heard you mention get rid of X-Link due to tuning issue. I have an X-Link with the TBSS intake and 4-bolt RME87 throttle body. What would you recommend running instead? Listen, man, run what you can without the X-Link. Seems like, I don't know, anecdotal evidence is like 1 out of 5 works perfectly fine. Then 3 out of 5 works close enough where you think it's working fine, but you end up fighting it, and then just one of them won't work at all. Kyle, you gotta have an exclamation point in front of raffle. Brandon, yes, that setup will work. The 300300 and the RS232. They even got a cool, here, just do this. Boop, 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 boop. Actually, let's do it this way. I will show you exactly what I'm talking about. Boop. Let's go over to the whiteboard. Okay. This is the serial USB adapter, and the cool thing is it shows you right here. On the right, this one over here is how you wire it up. And so you will have 2 wires coming out of there. In fact, I think you're just going to have ground and receive. So you'll have the, transmit, since the, no, it's receive. This is going, I'm thinking of analog once again. So receive and ground coming off of the gauge. Then you plug this thing in. And where is our scanner? Get the scanner opened up here. Where you at, scanner? You're one of these windows. Doop, 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 doop. And then if we come in here and add a channel, we come down here under serial port, AEM, and then EQ or AFR, whichever one matches the gauge. Gauge will do both. Obviously, I suggest doing EQ ratio. Now, keep in mind, if you get the issue of it disappearing whenever you start scanning, I'm going to show you a trick. We want to, let me do it over here where you can see. Come in here to the search, do device manager. Open up your device manager. What we're looking for is ports, but we want to do view, show hidden devices. Well, luckily this one doesn't, but if you have a whole bunch of COM ports show up underneath here whenever you do hidden devices, delete those and then restart the scanner and it won't disappear on you anymore. I need to do a new video on this. It's been so long, so I just I've been using, as I said, the CAN bus one. Love the CAN bus one. It's great. No, Brandon, there's no dumb questions. Well, the big thing is, Brandon, you have to have one that supports serial. So if you've got the 300300 that has serial out, that's fine. If you have one and you're using the analog, that's fine. Just make sure that the gauge matches what you're seeing in the scanner. Because if it's not, you're going to have to do some adjustments to your math for the offset. What up, PMW? I just saw that you're in there. Ooh, going to change out my P01 to a P59 would like the VIN number to match. I honestly don't know if the VIN changing feature works. I kind of agree. The only thing is, if you've got an MPVI 3, you said the ProLink is throwing away money. If you've got an MPVI 3, it's unlocked. And so it's cheap enough just to grab one. Man, great questions. RS-232, man, that's one of the oldest serial communications protocol. Been around for probably 50 years now. 2-wire, it's great. 485 2-wire's better, but, you know, hey. We work within the constraints of what we got. Welcome, Andrew. Better late than never. So have I missed anything? Have I missed anything? No, I think we're good. Ah, Chevy for life. Glad you finally got your shirt. Oh, speaking of which, if anybody in here won a hat a week or two ago, 2 weeks ago, I think it was, I am actually out of hats, except for the small ones. So I've got a fresh order of hats coming. So you will get your hat once they show up. Should be here in the next probably 2 weeks. Then I'll get them boxed up and sent out. Went with a different color scheme. I'm anxious to check it out. So congrats, you'll be the first to have the new color scheme hat. It's the same layout, same flex fit, same colors, all that jazz, I think. I don't know. I don't know. It'll be cool either way. Yeah, and that's the one thing about ProLink. You can log other external gauges. Boost, I've done it in the past for logging methanol injection, you know, fuel pressure, all that stuff. So there is some benefits to the ProLink from that side of it. I wish there was more than 4 channels. They talked about having the ProLink extender years ago. That's dead in the water. It's never going to come out. I was hoping because the core actually supports their HPTNet protocol, which is kind of like a proprietary CAN bus protocol that they've developed for those devices talking to each other and stuff. I was hoping that we get that. But yeah, you can log anything with up to a 5-volt reference. Yeah, nobody wants OU hats. I don't even want to be mistaken for an OU hat. Do you recommend on a fresh engine to purchase new O2 sensors and wideband, or if everything seemed okay prior to assembly, okay to reuse? Oh, that's a tough question. I mean, if it's a fresh engine and it's stock, you don't need to do a wideband. It wouldn't hurt to put new O2 sensors in just to make sure that they're doing the best that they can do. No, Chevy for Life. I think they did away with the unlimited stuff in a while ago. Probably on MPVI2 whenever they changed the licensing system. Grimace, you've got me thinking, and I tested this, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was the video I did about hooking up the AEM dash through the MPVI3 and sending values out, which was really funky to me because we had to do it without the ProLink. The ProLink, even though it does have CAN bus on it, there's some conversion in there. It doesn't work with the new scanner CAN bus custom parameters. That's crazy. Do they have unlimited on the old stuff? On the Gen 3 stuff, they may still have unlimited. But it may be year-based. I don't think that it was like it used to be where you could basically like block off a whole group of stuff. Well, Kyle, I will tell you this much. I'm obligated to say you should go with the core. But if you're not going to go with the core, I would go with the Holley Rebel, or the Haltech Rebel, over the Holley 1,000%. 1,000%. The cool thing about it is, if you have issues and you call Haltech, you're going to get somebody on the line that knows how to fix your issues. Holley, you will not get that. 2019 Dodge Charger Scat Pack. Does it come with factory widebands? No. No, as far as I know, the only thing that came with factory widebands on Dodge was anything that was supercharged. So I do not believe that the Scat Pack has them. Don't quote me on it, but I mean, it's an easy check. Just plug into the thing and start scanning. You'll be able to tell. Literally, because the parameter is different. Like, you will have a wideband parameter, and if it is populating data, it means there's a wideband. Now, listen, because of the standard that CAN bus is, and the ASE, Automobile Society of Engineers, whatever, they have parameters in there. Every vehicle that's running on the latest version of OBD is going to have a wideband parameter. So if you add it to the scanner and it's not supported, you're just going to get a flat number, flat line, no readings on it. But if you do actually have widebands, so by all means check before you go out and buy a wideband. Okay. Robert says licensed no 2 Silverado on Saturday. It said it was 4 credits from Unlimited for 2002. Okay, good to know. I don't do a lot of third gen stuff. I haven't owned a third gen car in 20 years. Dude, Chevy for life, I know. But to be honest though, whenever the original MPVI came out, we were all so broke at that point in time, the idea of buying that many credits was crazy. Oh yeah. It's getting crazy. I need to renew my Autel. Actually, I don't think I'm going to renew my Autel subscription on that one. I think I just need to get an Autel. Kyle, Core is HP Tuner's new standalone. I'm literally getting ready to do a huge video dump on it. Multiple videos. We're going to be doing all kinds of fun stuff with the Core. Okay. The website does show you which ones can do unlimited and cannot do unlimited. I'm guessing it's mostly third gen stuff, right? GM. Chevrolet. Unlimited year model. Yeah. So if it's got the little I beside it, it'll tell you. So if you, for some reason, have an 05 through 06 SSR 6 liter, it takes 12 credits to do unlimited year model universal credits for that one. Dude, only on my OnlyFans, Arkansas, Matt. Found the replacement Gen 3 NOx sensors actually working. Don't throw codes or is the wrecking yard for the OEM the only one? I mean, you should be able to buy new Gen 3 NOx sensors. I don't know how expensive they are, but they're available. They can't be too expensive. The old one-wire ones, the ones like that were in the Valley cover, like time alone would be like just buy new ones, because having to jerk an intake manifold off to get to them, no. Cracked Automotive, you ever come across a Ford Falcon inline 6 turbo bar from Australia? No, and I wish I had. $60 a piece? Woo! No push rods, please. Would love to see a video on game battery results in Gen 4 VVE. Okay, listen, GM guy, go over to Silver Surfer 77's website and check out his VVE program he's got going. It is so amazing. Let me find the link. And make sure and drop the dude a sub. He was on last week's live show. Go back and watch that. We talked about it a little bit. But he has spent so much time developing this program that we really needed to... sorry, I got distracted over here. To make VVE easier. So... Yeah, Kyle. The core's been out for a few months now. There's a so fully featured unit right now. It's limited to LS third and fourth gen stuff. It has flexibility. They're going to open it up. Right now, they're just trying to refine the software side of things. But the capability of it is more in line with like the Holly Dominator, stuff like that. Very capable unit, and it's just going to get more and more fleshed out. And so I'm getting ready to install it in the 68 Camaro with an LS3. Originally, I thought about throwing a Pro Charger on it now, but I think it's going to be, by the time we get done modifying, it's going to be about 600 at the crank anyways. I don't know if it really needs much more power than that. I know, listen to me. I must be getting old if I'm like, oh, 600 at the crank. That's plenty of horsepower. But you know how it goes also. I may be sitting around next winter bored and decide to pull the trigger and boost it. Diego, I know you made a couple videos about this. Computer's finally given out. What cheap but good computer would you recommend off the top of your head? What's your budget, man? That's going to be the big question. Honestly, like, XPX 13, Dell XPX 13 is my favorite. Find a used one. Man, like, you can get used ones for $200 to $300, and I love them. Stay away from the Temu laptops. I haven't done a trying to tune on the cheapest laptop available. I think I bought a new, like $100 laptop off of Amazon. No, you don't have to buy credit skin if you change computers. Credits are linked to the interface. So, yeah, if you're up to 500, buy the best spec'd out XPS 13 that you can get. You will not regret it, I promise you. I love it, I love it, love it. Feeling old too. Drop back to 600 crank so I can use my Doug Nash 4+1 5-speed without worrying. Dude, Bob, I'm telling you, man. It's funny though. So, I didn't realize how fast the Nova is, how much power the Nova makes with the 598. So I got the Camaro out, and I've only driven it twice because it's just been, we finally got rain to wash the salt off the road, stuff like that. I got it out, took it for a spin, went down, got registered, all that jazz. And it's got a 502, so it's should be making 500-600 horsepower. Man, it feels like a dog compared to my 598. Oh man, that reminds me. I need to get a, probably need to dig through my torque converters. Yeah, the core does self-tuning, Grimace. Dude, you're getting a Dell. Who remembers that? There's probably people in here that's not old enough to even know that. When I replace my E39, would it be best just to delete the VATs or change the VIN on the ECM because it's going to cost me to license the new VIN. Don't change. Just delete the VATs and license the new VIN. It's the easy way of doing it. If you don't have to mess with changing VINs, don't bother. You know. And honestly, most places don't care. Most states, even that have inspections, don't care. There's a couple, probably California, and I think there's one or two other that will care. Listen, I like the tough books, but they're also so darn big. I don't know. Let's see what the retail on the core is right now. Purchase core ECU 2,000 for the ECU. Then you're looking at another 1,000 for the harness. And I'll tell you this much: the harness sounds expensive until you see the harness. So there's two guys in America, or two places in America. One of them's Mike Noonan over at EFI Connection. I can't remember the other guy that makes them. The harnesses are so much better than the crap you get with Holley. And they're fully tested, so you know you're not going to have to swap anything out. Like, almost every single Holley harness, I've had to repin something. It's so annoying. I mean, Holley gets their harnesses from China. And the fact that they upcharge what they do for the harness is mind-blowing. Because they're like $100 harnesses. If you have a P59, can I swap it from trucks? Yeah. Yeah, if you're going P59, you've already got a P59 licensed. Yeah, just throw it in. Especially because on that one, it's a PCM, so the transmission side of it, you don't have to worry about. You're going to be hooking up to the same transmission. Yeah. Tough books are heavy, and for some reason, the batteries on those things just crap the bed. We use tough books at work, and we've gone over not to the fully ruggedized, but the semi-ruggedized, and it's not bad. But like even when we were still getting the fully ruggedized, and they're like $4,000 laptops. The guys that work for me, they were just going through batteries like it's going out of style. Yeah, oh yeah, no, the harness is night and day, Tim. Night and day. Where we go? Mitch says, been watching a lot of videos there. Awesome, thank you, sir. Same with Matt. Matt's awesome. I was talking about Matt today, about how awesome he is. Yeah, and that's the big thing between Matt and I both. Like, we want you guys to be able to approach this. And within comfort levels. Like, I'm not telling you to go out and slap twin turbos on something and you know, go crazy. Like, start small if you're starting your tuning journey, you know. Start tuning on stock. Just play around on a stock vehicle. That's the best way. I mean, it's really hard, like, unless it's boosted. Just be aware, if it's boosted, it's a different situation. If it's naturally aspirated, you really have to mess some stuff up to destroy a naturally aspirated engine through tuning. If anything, you're just going to make it where it doesn't run. Or it runs so bad, you can't really get into it hard enough to blow it up. So, oh yeah, I got a ThinkPad sitting in the closet right back there. That was one that I used for years as a tuning laptop. I hope they have a replacement harness, possibly LS swap the Holley HP from small block Ford to LS and use the HP ECU. I'm not quite understanding that. About to get into cam tuning, 1 4th gens and 2 5th gens. Pray. No reason to pray, man. You're just changing the way that the thing breathes. If the spark knocks, just add nitrous. It'll cool. Do not take tuning advice from Chevy for life. I mean, technically he's right. Just make sure that you dial the timing back for the nitrous. 2 degrees per 50 horsepower. Lean cruise, you're getting 27 miles per gallon, Robert. That's insane. Nitrous fixes everything. You know what? That's what I need to do. We haven't done the nitrous car in forever. Let's just put nitrous on the Camaro with the LS3. What do you guys think about that? A little 150 shot would be freaking awesome. Bounce timing off knock sensors, then turn it down to 11 degrees. Just 11 flat. Well, that's correct, Bob. Different story if you're towing. Yeah, be careful about towing because you're changing the load on the motor really significantly. Uh, really significantly whenever you're towing. But just driving around, yeah, you're not going to hurt anything. Oh man, OT synthetics, copy paste like those bad tuners do. I can spot those tunes in 30 seconds. I just open up a stock configuration, do compare, and if I open up the compare list and there's like 70 tables that's been edited, I know it's somebody that's just doing copy and pasting. That's a prime example of somebody that doesn't know how to tune because they're adjusting tables that never need adjusted. Uh, oh, awesome, Mitch. Well, you're going to be the resource one of these days, bro. You're going to be the Iowa's tuner. Do a tune video using Timu injectors. I don't have any motors I hate that much, Arkansas Matt. Read some bad things online about monster transmissions. Wow. I'll tell you something. I don't have any experience with monster transmissions, Tim. So, take this with a grain of salt. I will tell you, if you've watched any TV show, every single vehicle that they use, they're putting monster transmissions in. And they're not paying for them. And so I find that if you make a good product, you don't have to give a ton away of, for free to get them on TV shows to spurn sales. I'll leave it at that, okay? Everybody, they're everywhere, those monster transmissions. Robert says they're local. Honestly, hated here as well. Yeah, that is a huge red flag to me whenever companies like. Now, I will also say I see a lot of Gearstar, and I don't think that they have that issue. But do your research because there are some transmission guys out there. I run a lot of FTI stuff. I love FTI. I'm not telling you to go out and buy FTI by any means. I like FTI. I like talking to the guys. I've had questions. I've had issues with torque converters, and to the point where, like, I've gotten an FTI torque converter that was just totally set up wrong, and it was from a transmission builder. And the transmission builder spec'd it out. I gave him the weight, the gear ratios, all that stuff. He spec'd out this torque converter. I called FDI and I gave them the same numbers, and they're like, that's totally wrong. They ordered you the wrong torque converter. And God, I can't remember the owner of FTI. He's like, just send it back to me. I'll send you the right one. I'll cover the cost because the right one was going to be like $200 more. I was like, bro, you don't have to do that. But that above and beyond kind of service is really hard to find. Perform Built's great. I like Ryan a lot. The main builder down there. I'm opening the entries back up for the giveaway, by the way. So if you didn't get a ticket, get your ticket. And we'll go for another 5 minutes. I have a 2018 GMC Sierra that's bone stock. Transmission slams on downshift. Is it worth it to unlock the TCU to work on fixing that? Excuse me, I'm burping. Why is it slamming in? Why is it... If it's stock, David, I would be worried that the transmission's about to go out. Is this a 6-speed or a 10-speed? Oh, well, then Arkansas Matt's asking if it's an 8-speed. Yeah, I'd be worried about it. You should not be doing that from the factory on stock. Like, it should not be slamming gears. Something funky is going on. So I have an 06 GTO. It has an E40. Yep. Wideband, it's reading weird. Is there something missing to convert it or something to lambda? Kyle, which wideband are you using? That's going to be the first question. Oh yeah, customer service, Chevy for Life makes all the difference. All the difference. It really does, because great customer service doesn't rank high enough until you need customer service, and then you will thoroughly regret not having gone with a company that provides great customer service to save, $100 or something like that. I'm just reading chat. Just reading chat. Let's see here. Do I have to? Oh, hey, there's my shipping notification from Summit. $100 is a lot, but how much is your time worth? How much is frustration worth? Kyle, you got the 300300. Okay, you got to make sure that what's displayed on the gauge is what you're trying to log. So if it's showing AFR, you can't log lambda. The data that it puts out will not match up to the math, if that makes sense. Can you buy a Hellcat wideband and pin them to a scat pack? That's a good question. And I honestly, I would say that you possibly could, but I'm guessing that the operating system on the ECU is different. And so even if you could, it's probably not energizing the pump circuit. So it probably wouldn't work. It's a very interesting question. It's times like this, David, that I wish I was like a millionaire, because I would go out and buy these cars to test these things in particular. I saw the other day that somebody has released an actual flex fuel sensor for the Dodge platforms. May only be for Hellcats, but it is not it. I don't know how they've done this. They have figured out a way to bring the inferred signal in to the ECM without piggybacking it or any of that crap, an actual reading, and they want like $4,000 for it. Good starting price point. If you're still early on, I'd probably shoot for $300-400 for like basic bolt-on tune stuff like that. As you get more advanced, as you start doing crazier things, like price goes up. Price goes up with experience. Price goes up with the combinations. If you're doing Gen 3s, Gen 4s, stuff like that, a lot of that's easy, especially on bolt-ons. You can knock those out real quick. But also take into account what's available in your area, if you're doing in-person stuff. Yeah, $350 base for third and fourth. That's about right. Okay, let's do the drawing. Remember, you have to be present to win. Drum roll. I don't think I've got drum roll on here. Do I have drum roll? No. Okay. Whoa. Oh. And the winner is Daniel Stigler. He's here. I know Daniel's here. He's still here. He better still be here. If Daniel left. Oh, congrats, Daniel. You know the drill. You know what to do. Email me. I'll hook you up with the gift card. And you can buy whatever you want to buy. So, okay, Kenneth, you're the last question of the night. Passion HP Tuners 2 to 3 bar OS. It reads 14.2 map. Yeah. Is there some math I can do where it reads 0 so it's visually correct? Yeah, you could do a custom math parameter. Essentially, I'll show you real quick. It'll just be easier to show you. Go to white screen. Go to the whiteboard. There we go. So let's come over here. We'll go Tools, Math Parameters. Here we go. Let's do User Math. We're going to do a new variable. Let's do Manifold Pressure. Map. Manifold Pressure. Doesn't matter. You might be using the 2-3 bar one, like if you're using custom OS. So I'll just grab the 3 bar one. So there we go. Manifold pressure. You're in PSI, so we want to make sure that we're in PSI here. We've got that. Boom. Minus 14.2. And then come down here. And where is our PSI? Liters per hour. God, so many parameters. Pounds per square inch per second. Nope. Oh my goodness. Where is just standard PSI? Are you guys seeing it? Am I missing it? Those are flow rates. Pounds per square inch. PSI. We'll add, we'll say 2 decimals in there. And we'll call this one zeroed map or something like that. Now, mind you, you're not going to be able to see it over here in the channels, but if you do like the graph or something like that, let's do chart versus time. We can add it in on here on our chart layout. So let's add a graph in here. Then we can come down to our user defined map. There it is. And now this will read 0 off your barometric offset. If you have a barometric sensor, though, you can do the same thing, except under your math. Instead of doing minus 14.2, do minus barometric pressure. Boop. Oh, we want to make sure that's in kPa also, or PSI also. There you go. And that will take whatever your barometric pressure reading is, subtract it from the math, and give you a 0. Yeah, go Chiefs. Whip the birds. Okay. So, that's it for tonight, everybody. You know the drill. Thanks for stopping by the garage. Oh, yes, Boostly has an awesome TCM swap thing going on. It's too much to get into tonight, Boostly. We will talk about, though. So, you know the deal. I don't even know the deal anymore. Thanks for stopping by the garage. Remember, ABT, always be tuning. We'll see you guys next Thursday.